better than I anticipated. It was. It wasn't the greatest pay-per-view. It wasn't better than NXT TakeOver War Games as far as match-wise. But I do admit that every single match on the main card, at least, told a story. And the matches where I thought that certain people or groups weren't going to put up a fight actually put up a fight. Now, they threw in a couple of more pre-show matches like Breezango versus Owens and Zayn and Matt Hardy versus freaking Elias, but those don't even freaking matter. And it was same brand versus same brand there, so it doesn't really matter. But without anything else, I'm just going to be like, look, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best event. But I will say it wasn't the worst. And look, by watching the matches, I was like, they kind of worked hard to at least be in the same conversation as other wrestling events or as other matches throughout the year or so on and so forth. Because, again, certain matches you look on paper and be like, what the hell is this? But the results, or look, the matches, look, most of them were good. They were. I admit it. And the results, of course, I'm here to hold myself accountable. But look, again, as always, I'm getting ahead of myself. These are the results, my opinions, and maybe some rants about Survivor Series 2017. I guess the most important thing about this match was that Enzo retained. Enzo can retain the freaking Cruiserweight Championship. I'm like, look, this match wasn't even important. It wasn't important to me. This was the only championship that was on the line. And of course, Enzo retained. I would have been ranting if it would have got hot potato back to Kalisto for a limited amount of time, and maybe he would have lost it on 205 Live. But anyway, the match didn't mean anything. It was just shoved on here just because they wanted to give the Cruiserweight Champion something to do on the show, on the card. And even though it was the freaking pre-show or, again, the kickoff show, a title match on a kickoff show. But I guess, look, the all-important thing is that Enzo retained, and that was basically it. I even said that was going to happen, but still doesn't hold any weight. It's just not important. Enzo wins. So what? First things first, I am very surprised that this took place the first match of the card. Shield. Remember, these are 3 former WWE champions. Former Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose. Former Tag Team Champions, all 3 of them with each other. All of them former United States champions. And they faced the longest Tag Team Champions in WWE history, the New Day. I didn't even think that the New Day were going to stand a chance here. I was wrong on that front. You have to watch this match. It was pretty even as things went along. They didn't disrespect the New Day here. Even though the New Day lost, and I kind of predicted that they would lose, I would love to saw the Midnight Hour performed on Reigns and Reigns to get pinned, but that didn't happen. They had to hit that triple powerbomb, all 3 of them, from the freaking middle rope to Kofi Kingston in order for them to win and to get the job done. They have to they have to systematically take out the New Day one by one because, again, you know, they were Big E was taken out by Dirty Deeds and Xavier Woods was taken out by the knee of Seth Rollins, and both of that took place outside of the ring. Even a simple spear didn't want to end. They didn't want to end Kofi Kingston that way. They wanted to end it a Shield way, but in a grand fashion from the middle freaking rope. But look, there were certain tag team moves performed by the New Day that was really, really cool. And I was just like, oh, okay, so they actually are respecting the New Day here. Yes, the New Day put up a good fight. They did. But the results were clear. The Shield wins the match. At least the New Day could lose here and they could have their heads held up high. Even though they lost and maybe it was disappointing, but it wasn't a slaughter. It wasn't destruction. It wasn't the New Day just being treated like a joke. And that's what I got to give WWE props for not doing that, for not treating New Day as a freaking joke compared to the Shield. I mean, hell, again, the Shield wins. If you didn't watch the match, go watch it. It was a very entertaining match, to say the least. You know, it's funny. Asuka being the sole survivor here, not surprised at all. Natalya is the one that took Charlotte's place, and I was just like, oh god, yep, SmackDown loses. And even though that's what I predicted that Team Raw was going to win. I mean, yes, they had to count out Nia Jax, but they weren't going to get rid of Asuka. It was kind of funny how Tamina actually stood up to Nia, and they actually collided. I mean, they actually let Tamina hit her Superfly splash off the freaking ropes. I was like, I'm in shock that actually took freaking place. And, yeah, but Raw wins. And, well, what do you know? It was because of Asuka. Again, who is surprised? The only thing that I was surprised about is that Becky Lynch was the first one to be eliminated. She was the first one to be put out. The captain of SmackDown was the first to be put out. Oh, God. Talk about disrespect to Becky Lynch. That was the only part that I didn't really understand about the match. But everything else went on just fine. Raw wins. Asuka, sole survivor, not pinned, not submitted. Who'd have thought, right? Yes! This is what I wanted. Look, I'm fanboying here. I admit it. I'm biased here. Once again, I admit it. But The Miz, that pussy, fuck that guy. Basically, it was 1-on-3. Baron Corbin versus Jizz in his Jizztourage. Oh God. They tried to make it seem that The Miz was ranked above this guy somehow as far as technique, power, whatever. No. It took Bo Dallas, to sucker punch Baron Corbin. And he paid for it. Baron Corbin actually had to go outside of the ring after that interference, and after he got the upper hand on The Miz. He decks Curtis Axel, who was wearing a freaking turtleneck, red, above his neck brace or whatever. And then, Bo Dallas, he beat him down, put him in a ring, and gave him the end of days. But now, the Jizz tries to do Daniel Bryan's kicks, and he actually did the drop kicks in the corner. But as he was coming for another drop kick out of the corner, what did Baron Corbin do? He snatches him up, and he gives him an end of days. 1, 2, 3, that's it. And stood above him after the match with the United States Championship. And I was just like, yes, bravo. Yes, I marked out. Yes, I mean, look, again, Raw was up 2-0 until this happened. This changed the tide. Oh, yeah, your Intercontinental Champion, yeah, he lost in a 3-on-1 encounter. That's pretty much it. And Baron Corbin, again, it was funny because on the exclusive on WWE.com, before all of that, and he had an interview, and he's like, yeah, The Miz likes to run his mouth and things, yeah, but I'm going to show the whole world the same thing that his wife already knows, that The Miz is just all talk. And again, that's all he is. It's all talk. And afterwards, he's like, yeah, my hand went up, your mouth went closed. He said that after the match in an interview. Yes, thank you, Baron Corbin. that was the result that I was the most interested in out of anything else, because I thought it was the most important one, because this actually has someone that should be elevated and someone that shouldn't be there at all. Corbin should be elevated. The Miz shouldn't be there. I'm going to just make that clear right now. Corbin wins. Congratulations. And this officially turns the tide. You see, I picked the Usos to win this match, and here's why. When they suddenly made the change of tag team championships to the Shield members to Cesaro and Sheamus, I was like, they're not going to win that match at Survivor Series. They're just not. There would be no reason for them to. But the main reason why they had that title change in the first place was the Shield to go against the New Day. But yeah, and once again, this was a pretty well-rounded match. Lots of close calls, and it told a story in the ring. It's funny how tag team matches, yeah, when they tell a story, they're the most excellent matches. Because you have to have that chemistry with the partners and with the other people on the other side of the ring. That's extra than one-on-one matches. Even though one-on-one matches is like, yes, the best chemistry between one-on-one makes the match of the year. I mean, but look, back to this result. I picked the Usos because they're the Usos. Undoubtedly, the best tag team right now with the chemistry, with the moves, with the impacts, everything. And they went through just about everything already. But Sheamus and Cesaro, yeah, again, pretty good match. But the results, the Usos, great. Okay. Again, the Usos were going to win this match. I'm not sure if they would have beat Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but this match, yeah. Go watch the match. This one was pretty good too. Once again, the results of this match was because of a title change. Natalya was supposed to go against Alexa. But, nope. Now it's Charlotte. And I was like, Charlotte's going to win. I predicted, I was like, look, I don't see Charlotte losing. But, once again, I will give credit where credit is due. Alexa versus Charlotte was pretty good. Alexa put up a fight. There were times where it looked like Alexa Bliss was going to win. Yes, she tapped out to the figure 8. I said that she would. But again, she kicked out a natural selection. She put on a pretty good match. She was trying to bully and push around Charlotte, which is a big mistake. You don't do that. But again, pretty good match. Told a story. Two women. Look, Charlotte took Alexa under her wing, remember? And built her. So, yeah. And this moved up SmackDown 3-2 from Raw at this time. So Baron Corbin changed the tide. He turned the tide. The Usos kept it going. Charlotte kept it going. And yeah, there was only one of those matches that weren't all that good, and that was the Miz Corbin match, and that was basically because of the Miz and him needing help and all of that. But again, Charlotte, figure 8, Alexa Bliss, once again, nothing to be ashamed of because it wasn't a terrible match. The result was the only thing that was important here. The goddess bowed down to the queen. You know, it's funny. For the first time that these two went against each other, they should do it again. Someday, for a belt on the line, they should do it again. I would love to see that. But for the sake of this match, Brock Lesnar was the victor here. And AJ Styles got thrown around for like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the match. And I was just like, oh my God, okay. He was getting thrown around. He was getting hip tossed. He was getting knees. He was getting put through the ringer. But when AJ Styles started pulling off offense, he pulled out the best offense that he could have done. He hit the 450 off the freaking ropes. He hit the freaking phenomenal forearm. He even put on the calf crusher. He put on moves. He dished out some offense. He did what he had to do in order to try to win the match. However, it was Suplex City and an F5 that prevailed. Styles Clash wasn't done. And I think that, that shaved monkey was too much for AJ Styles to try to do. But no. That shaved gorilla, yeah, that's what Brock Lesnar pretty much is. It's a shaved freaking gorilla. He's a damn beast. But beast mode prevails, and again, this match told a story. It did. And this match did more than anticipated. At least AJ Styles didn't get decimated like John Cena a couple of years ago. Seriously. There's been matches like against Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe that they pulled off offense and it looks like Brock was going to lose. This match, pretty much the same. It actually, all right, Brock Lesnar, he showed vulnerability to AJ Styles. And once again, thank God it wasn't Jinder Mahal going against Brock Lesnar, because I don't think that they would have had as much of a match that AJ Styles and Brock had. That's just my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that. Brock Lesnar wins, Suplex City. It was a phenomenal effort, but the beast prevails. The funniest thing about this match is that I did pick SmackDown Live to win out of a whim because I actually thought that something was going to happen. It's funny because, okay, Jason Jordan was even in attendance, and he even said that he wanted a Triple H to get eliminated first and then for Raw to win. But no, that didn't happen. SmackDown pretty much got systematically taken out and taken down and eliminated and eliminated and eliminated. Now, look, they didn't get rid of Braun Strowman in any way, shape, or form. They didn't. And they didn't even get rid of Kurt Angle. It took Triple H to get rid of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was trying to get rid of Shane O'Mac. He even had him in an ankle lock. Triple H comes in and gives a pedigree to Kurt Angle and lays Shane on top of Kurt. And everybody's like, what the hell's going on? And even Braun Strowman was like, what the hell is going on? I mean, it's funny that there was interference by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now, it's funny because I had a comment on my prediction video with someone saying that that could happen. And I didn't even look into that possibility, and it did happen. So, hey, kudos that you brought that out, and I totally missed that. I thought they were going to do the Jason Jordan story thing because he was in attendance. But for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to come out and attack Shane, but Shane grabbed a chair and fended them off. But in the midst of doing that, Randy Orton gets eliminated, and next thing you know, it's 1-on-3. It was Shane versus Kurt, Triple H, and Strowman. But the sole survivors were Triple H and Braun Strowman. That was the result I did not understand. Triple H comes in and takes out Kurt Angle and lays Shane on top of him. And then he pedigrees Shane just because he wanted to get the victory. Yeah, he had to nose his way into Survivor Series. He had to nose his way in the victory. And as he was celebrating and holding up Braun Strowman's arm and stuff like that, Braun, yeah, he got him by the throat and he warned him, if you ever almost do all that again, you almost betray me again and stuff like that. You know, Triple H tries to attack and gets power slammed for his troubles. But the Raw goes off the air like that. Not Raw. Raw wins and Survivor Series goes off the air, and I'm just like, oh God. I'm like, why did you have to end the pay-per-view like that? out of anything, this pay-per-view was doing pretty good as far as the matches, the storytelling, the results, the endings, everything. But then you end the pay-per-view that way. You end the pay-per-view with triple bitch. You end the pay-per-view with triple bitch. I'm not hearing that. I'm not understanding that. I'm just like, it would have been perfectly fine with Kurt Angle making Shane McMahon submit or even pinning him. That would have been perfectly fine. Okay. But for Triple H, for Triple Bitch to come up in there and to do what he did to fucking Kurt Angle. And so he could have the victory for himself. Because Braun Strowman wanted to take out, he wanted to take out Shane, but Triple Bitch tagged himself in. Then Kurt Angle tagged himself in. And it's funny because Shane almost pinned Kurt out of the confusion, but that didn't happen. It went on, and Kurt Angle, he got the upper hand, he hit the ankle slam, he put him in an ankle lock, and then that's when Triple H made his freaking presence known and interfered to get Kurt Angle eliminated, which makes no fucking sense. That was the only thing that really didn't make sense about the show. I didn't like that one bit. It just didn't, no, it didn't make any sense to me. So, after that, why didn't Jason Jordan come out? Jason had to be watching from the back. Your dad just got pedigreed by this bitch, Triple Bitch. And you did nothing? Anyway, that was Survivor Series. And I'm just like, you had this pay-per-view that was on a high ride, and then you end it that way to lower it. And it was all because of Triple H. Triple Bitch. It's all because of him. At least he got power slam for his troubles, but it was so anticlimactic. For one, we could see it coming, and two, it doesn't really mean anything. Just a damn shame. They took a pay-per-view that was going well, and then they collapsed it that way. Anyway, what did you think about the show? Do you agree or disagree with my comments about the results, or about me marking out that The Miz lost? Please leave a comment below if you agree or disagree with any of my ranting or my result conversation. Please, I'd like to hear from you. I'm always open for a debate about wrestling. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, set up those notifications. Anyway, SmackDown loses 4-3 in this year's Survivor Series. Drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfucker to the top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme. And I'll see you later. Credits.